Zip. Okay, so this assignment is based on this set of tracks, basically. So what they want you to do really is not so much anything to these tracks here, the audio tracks that already exist, but they want you to add things to them. So as you can see over here, your assignment instructions, the important stuff is that it's in G major and 115 BPM. So what that means is the stuff that you add will also have to be in G major and 115 BPM. So the 4 empty tracks here are included in the session. So the audio is here, and then the 3 MIDI software instrument tracks are these 3 here. So when they say populate the 4 empty tracks here, they mean put something in them. So right now there's nothing there, so you need to do something to make them, have something in them. So the first one, for audio loop, this one here, they want you to put an audio loop in it. So that's pretty simple, kind of what we were talking about last week. So you just go up here to the loop browser, and you want to pick a loop that is blue, not green like these ones. You want to pick a blue one, so that for example. But you also want it to be in 115 BPM and in G. So you can sort them chronologically by clicking on the tempo and the key. So I've done that already. So you might have to scroll a bit to find one that is in 115 and in G. And then you also want one that is blue. So you don't want a green one because those are MIDI tracks that you can edit. The audio stuff you can't really change that much, so let's just grab this one, pop it in. You're going to have to do one that is a bit more fitting to what these are, so I'm just doing a very quick sort of, this one is the same BPM and the same key, so that'll do for me, but yours will have to be a bit more specific. So the second one, the edited MIDI loop, what they want is a software instrument loop from the loop library. So this same thing, except the green ones here. So I've got ones that are in 115 BPM and G. So let's just grab some flutes. And you see here they've got lines rather than audio waves. So I'll shut that. And if you click on that, it'll come up with this down here, which is what the that's what's in this track here. So they want you to edit that somehow. So you can either move them all over the place, you can make them longer, you can delete them, and as long as you up here have pencil tool selected, you can draw them in wherever you want, and you can just play with it. If you want them to be nice and short, just do like a little click and drag them to whatever you want really, and then so that's basically what they want for that one. And then obviously it changes based on what you've done to it. That's not going to sound good though, because that wasn't at all like in key or anything, so make sure it actually fits. For the sequenced element, what they want is create your own notes, beats, sounds, etc. using a track preset. So you're kind of going to do the same thing as you did here, except without anything to base it on. So you're going to right click and create an empty MIDI region, and you can either pull it along to loop it, which is why it's got those little divots in there, or you can just make it really long, like that. If you loop it, that means it's cut off and you can't make a really long one, but if you just stretch it out like that instead, then you can just do a huge one that doesn't have to be the same. So if you click on that, then this should come up, and throw in whatever you want. And in here, this is showing the instrument. So this is the track preset, and the way that you can change that is this little button here. This brings up the preset of the instrument. So you can change that if you want to by right-clicking that and going next or previous channel strip setting. So just kind of keep scrolling through until you find one that you want to use, basically. That's how I do it. Yeah, you can go in here and have a look and find a particularly interesting one. Let's say studio strings, that'll do. And now that's your string stuff. So if you want to hear it by itself, you press this S, and that turns these ones all off for now, and then you can just hear what it's doing. So obviously mine doesn't sound good because I just kind of threw it in, not actually doing anything properly. And then for the last track down here, they want you to plug in the retro synth and use the settings. So I have already plugged that in. What that means is you want to go over here again to the big I, and it should be this little strip here. You click on the middle part, and that'll bring up the plugin. The way that you can get to that plugin is you click on these arrows. Oh, shit. So you click on the arrows, and it should be in this little group down here. So it might not be in this recent patch because this is just what I've used recently, but it'll be down here. It should be, and then you click on stereo, and it'll bring up all of these areas here. So what they want you to do is, I'll make it a bit smaller so I can see things. So they want you to use an analog mode, so that's up here. Make sure you click that rather than sync or table or FM. So it needs to be an analog, and then adjust the oscillator, the low pass and the LFO and amplitude settings to fit with how the song sounds. So this is the oscillator. You just kind of want to change what it sounds like, really. These are wave types, semitones. Yeah, so you just kind of fiddle with these until you find something that you really like. Move this up and down as well, so it'll just make it sound a bit different. And then there's low pass. Yeah, so just kind of fiddle with this whole lot, and make it, sound how you want it to, really. LFO down here. Also, you can change it up around here. And then the amp settings, this is this stuff here. So volume and sine level. And just kind of play with it, really, and until you like how it sounds. And then at the end, you've got to create something in there as well to, have something to actually sound, to have some sound. Yeah, and then you want to bounce them out as audio files. So that means, I don't know if they've showed you how to bounce things, but you can, where is it? Nope, file, bounce. Bounce is down here. Should we go, I think project or section is usually what I do, and then you bounce them out, MP3. No, they want them as audio files, don't they? Okay, so bounce, tracks in place, I guess. I don't know, they've probably told you how to do that, so don't listen to how I'm saying that. But if you do need help with bouncing the audio files, then let me know and I can figure that out exactly how they want it done. Yeah, so that should be it. And then yeah, so they just want you to save it into your Logic session folder and make sure you compress it, otherwise they can't get into it. And yeah, that should be sweet. Good luck.